Dear brothers, it is that time of year again where the Super Bowl has just happened, yesterday to be specific. And being as that this is recorded prior to this game, I have no idea who won, but Lord willing, it was a good game. And just know that I destroyed a large amount of chicken wings. And Lord willing, there was a parlay that hit for me. In honor of said big game, I want to talk or take a moment to talk through a common statement that you hear from the masses of sports fans across the world. If you walk into any bar or sit with any group of dudes long enough, you eventually get to the talents of pro or college athletes. Oh, they are so talented. They're so gifted. What opportunities they have gotten because they are so genetically superior to everyone else. If I was that tall, if I was that fast, I could have played pro ball too. You hear men then go on to say how lucky these athletes are, these guys are, to have such resources and talents and the like. Certainly, this is male egos talking. However, it does shed some light on a couple of serious issues with how men view other men's success. First one being, it is an absolute slap in the face to those athletes to think that all of these people you see playing pro ball or high-level sports in any variety are just lucky. They are just talented, and they reach the pinnacle on talent alone. You completely dismiss the other factors, or at least choose not to mention them. Second, it shows the insane amount of jealousy that men have for those who succeed. For athletes, it's jealousy on their field or on their court of choice and their success there. Their money, the women that are flocking to them, the endorsement deals, the fame, their lifestyle, the fancy cars. We tell ourselves that if only we had that kind of talent, or their parents, or their coaches, or if we were a little faster, we could have been just like them. They were given more opportunities than we were. Let me tell you guys something, and I might cuss a lot today. It just seems like one of those Mondays. But shut the fuck up and listen. As someone who has not only played and continues to play a multitude of sports, but has trained high-level athletes all over this country, I can tell you several things without an ounce of doubt about how athletes function. One, few men work as hard as athletes looking to make it. They are up at the crack of dawn. They stay up late for film study. They're spending outrageous amounts of time and resources on keeping their bodies healthy, which means they're also dealing with injuries basically on a weekly basis. They're willing to travel anywhere to get help so that they can get that little extra edge. I have known and coached many an athlete who will work several jobs just to get themselves in a fiscal position where they can go try to make a team. Even when they have the resources available to them, they still have to get up each and every day and work their asses off to consider competing at the highest level. They suffer setbacks, severe and at times catastrophic injuries. They're under the microscope all the time in their everyday lives, especially once you get to the higher levels of pro ball. There's a camera on you at all times. If they need to shave a 10th off their sprint time, or they need to shave some time off their 40, they need to have a better broad jump, they need to throw a better out route, they need to be able to be a better receiver out of the backfield, they will move heaven and earth to make sure that those things happen. It's not all glitz and glam and money and fame and all this shit you see on TV. Because once they get to the mountaintop, they can't just coast. How many players do we see have 1 year of greatness and then they're gone? Because there are young and hungry wolves always looking to take their jobs. They can't just coast. They have to work even harder to survive. Number two, they don't give a flying fuck what the world is saying they can or cannot do. They made the goal to play pro ball or big time college ball or make the damn high school team. And nothing you say is going to deter them from that. Come hell or high water, they're going to do everything they can to succeed. And remember, we only see the top of the top, the Patrick Mahomes and the Purdys and these Bosas from yesterday, right? But some of these dudes that are on these practice squads are making jack shit money to get their asses whooped every day in practice just so that they can have a chance. And yet they show up every day. So now let's not get it twisted. I'm not saying because these guys are paid dumb high salaries and have all this fame and all of this jazz that they are good or trustworthy people. Those are disparate things. But I am saying that to call into question their work ethics is laughable. And it tells me more about you than it tells me about anything else. So let me throw a wild idea at you real quick. I want you to apply the two above things that I just talked about to any other profession or project or calling. You want to be an author? Fun fact, you are going to have to sit down and write each and every day. You may have to get up early before the kids are up or sit down after it's dark when the kids are down for bed. You're going to have to sacrifice some sleep to put together your book. You might have to write and rewrite it 6 times before a publisher even accepts it. You're going to have to face critics who may even be family members who say that this is a ridiculous adventure and you should be spending your time on other things and you should quit while you are ahead. You're going to have to smile at all these naysayers and commit your wholeness to this book you feel you are called to write. What about you want to own a business? Oh boy, get ready to deal with unruly customers, stupid taxes, an inordinate amount of failure. A lot of mornings where you ask yourself whether this is even remotely worth it or not. Phone calls at all times of day and night. And likely you will consume enough coffee that would probably wake the woolly mammoth out of his retirement. And then there's this little thing that if you fail this business, it's literally all on you. Let's go a touch more personal. How about you want to be a good dad? You're going to have to show up. You might lose a ton of sleep again. You might have to move your schedule around so you can make it to your kids' games. You're going to have to bust your ass so you can provide for said family, so they might have a better life than you did. You might need to keep yourself sharp. Be learning as much as you can so that your kids can grow up with an educated and wise father who can teach them. Here's what you guys need to know. Success in any endeavor has nothing to do with luck or talent or resources. Sure, do those things help? Abso-fucking-lutely. I would be lying if I said those things didn't play a part in some people's success. But we as men use those things as excuses as to why we are not succeeding. We like to point the finger. Meanwhile, the blueprint is right in front of us. You want something? You want to go win? You want to write that book? You want to start that business? You want to become a pro athlete? All right. Here is your quick and short list of requirements to succeed at any of those things or any of the billion other things that you could do that you feel is good. We'll start with number 1. You have to work your ass off each and every day. You got to show up. You got to be disciplined. Easy as that. Number 2, you have to accept that you suck at something and you are willing to practice until your hands bleed to abolish said suckiness. It's the word of the day. Number 3, stop giving a shit what Twitter and Instagram and the internet and the rest of the world around you says. It doesn't mean anything. Number 4, Embrace the shit. You chose to go out here and become something great. Don't cry when you roll an ankle, lose a manuscript, or have your kid have blowout diarrhea up their backs and all over you. This is the role you chose. Fucking play it like a champ. Last and most important, thank God each and every day that you have the opportunity to produce something beautiful, and ask for humility and persistence in those pursuits. Listen, fellas, it's Monday. Go show up today. Go take names this morning. Stop giving a shit what Instagram is telling you and showing you to do. Throw the phone out. Don't cast stones at what other men are doing. Take notes on them, learn from them, and pray that through your diligence and effort, God will show you something beautiful that the world needs. All you've got to do is sit down and do the work and stop being on the sidelines while other men go find success. Fuck that. God bless, be strong, and let's get some this morning.